competition has ever seen. It's Foley, dummying! Bennett Foley! It's a try to the Wallabies! Bill back to Foley! It is a beauty! And for England now, this is a sporting crisis. Australia have dumped the host out of the competition. They have delivered the knockout blow to one of their great sporting rivals.
Former Wallabies coach Eddie Jones has been named as the new England rugby coach.
It was just too good an opportunity not to take. There's great talent here. There's opportunity to build something special here. From this press conference onwards, I'm putting a media ban on myself.
That's what England have been threatening to do.
He's clear. Williams. Now he looks for support. Anthony Watson on the outside. Watson for England. 5 out of 5 in the Six Nations of 2016.
England had a difficult time during the World Cup. Everyone's feeling a lot better about themselves, but the best is yet to come.
England creating, finishing and enjoying.
It'll be interesting coaching against Michael Cheika in Australia. Yeah, and it'll be fun.
We had a good relationship in playing footy.
We used to get on really well, probably a little bit of the same type of people.
He was a cheeky guy, and I suppose I was a little bit sideways sometimes as well.
It had to happen. New England coach Eddie Jones has begun the war of words, calling Michael Cheika deceptive.
He's street smart. He's very street smart, Michael. He'll use the media well. They can make sure they target certain players on our team. They'll target certain things that we do and make sure it's exposed in the media. And then you've got the whole country working against you.
As usual, we'll bring out the welcome mat and we'll play some footy.
I was brought up in Australian rugby. I'm very indebted to Australian rugby, but we're going there to beat them.
I don't think he's really thrown a lot of barbs. Like, he hasn't called me fat or anything like that, or bald, or I'm getting bald or anything like that. It hasn't been nasty, you know what I mean?
It's a new Cheika we're facing at the moment. I'm sure the old one will come out.
He's obviously got a lot more experience than me in coaching, and he's a friend of mine too, so I want him to do really, really well, just not against us.
Welcome to Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. The long-awaited three-test series about to get underway. Australia versus England. Brisbane has turned gold over the past couple of days to welcome the Qantas Wallabies to Queensland. A bumper crowd is going to be in at Suncorp. And there is plenty of gold in and around the stadium and on the pitch as well. The crowd here to see if the Wallabies can repeat that wonderful performance at Rugby World Cup 2015 when they ran over the top of England, ending the host nation's hopes at the World Cup. And isn't it great to see the Wallabies back at Suncorp Stadium and the odd English fan in the crowd as well, hoping that Eddie Jones is definitely the saviour, because this is the first time that England under Eddie Jones has faced a Southern Hemisphere opponent. Greg Clark in the chair alongside me tonight, former Wallabies Tim Horan, Rod Cather and also Phil Kearns.
It's been a great atmosphere.
Picked a big forward pack, Tim.
Yeah, it's been a great atmosphere all week, Clark. He hasn't it right through the last 5 or 6 days here in Brisbane. Plenty of supporters in and around.
What about the forward pack, Rod Cather?
Yes, it is a big forward pack with good ball carriers like Vunipola back in, the captain Hartley and Dan Cole. Experience on the tight head side. The Toji is a find. He is a player of the future. George Cruz, also relatively new to Test football. We didn't face Billy Vunipola way back when at Twickenham. Rob Shaw and Haskell will add a very competitive back row. Tim Horan.
Yeah, Ben Youngs and Owen Farrell. Owen Farrell, really experienced fly half, 42 Test caps, plays for the Saracens club. His goal kicking will be really important tonight. Jonathan Joseph, he's a wonderful player at outside. He's a big, strong runner, and he'll get across the advantage line very early on, you would think. But the back three, Mike Brown, Anthony Watson, a wonderful player, only 22 Test caps, but has scored a fair few tries as well. Mike Brown, really experienced with 50 Test caps, and Yard on the other wing.
Yeah, a 5 forward, 3 back split on the reserve bench. Launchbury was man of the match for England against Australia back at that World Cup. And the scrum half, Danny Kerr, very experienced player, 60 tests. He'll make a difference when he comes on. And Jack Noel, he's quick. Look out for him.
Now the Wallaby dressing room. And it's been a low-key build-up from a public perspective, but behind the scenes, Michael Cheika has really been working these guys very hard indeed. He's been trying to get the new boys embedded into the system. And what have you made of the forward pack, Rod?
Well, we're going to find out whether the Wallabies have been working on their scrum, because England will come at them. Greg Holmes has been in tremendous form for Queensland. Moore and Seo did so well at the World Cup. Rory Arnold, his first test, needs to add some physicality around the field. That's what Cheika wants from him. Rob Simmons will call the line out. And this back row is pretty special. Went so well when last together.
Yeah, when you look at combinations, the Waratahs combination, Nick Phipps and Bernard Foley. How good was Bernard Foley in the test match against England? 28 points in the World Cup. Really important, that combination. Samu Karevi plays his first Wallaby test match tonight. Been partnering Tavita Kurandrani at outside centre. 2 big, strong runners. Rob Horn, Israel Folau and Dane Halapeti gets his first test match as well from the Western Force. Plays at fullback and will play on the right wing tonight.
And a 6 forward, 2 back split on the reserve bench. Perhaps risky if there are any backs injured, but gee, there's some power, some pace, there's some delivery in those forwards. Sean McMahon been an outstanding all year. Then the 2 backs, Frisbee and Christian Liliafano. Congratulations on your first child, Christian. Let's hope you have a cracker tonight.
So the Wallabies, last time 8 months ago at Twickenham, they beat England 33-13. Not many people thinking there's going to be 20 points difference tonight. Dylan Hartley, New Zealand born, captain of England, leading his side out there, 4th in the world rankings now, looking to make it 7 in a row since Eddie Jones took over as coach. 2016 Six Nations champions completing the Grand Slam, and they warmed up for this 3-test Cook Cup series with a 27-13 win over Wales. They've won 4 of the past 7 against Australia, but the 20-point loss in pool play at last year's World Cup still hurts. They want revenge. This is the best start to a year since 2003, winning 6 straight test matches. They've kept their opposition trialless in 3 of the 6 tests. And if we count last year's win over Uruguay at the World Cup, it's actually 7 straight victories, and they haven't won 8 on the trot since 2003. Up close and personal with the visitors. George Ford, the replacement fly half. He started against Wales, but the number 10 jersey being worn by Owen Farrell. Maro Otoje, just 21 years of age from Saracens. So Hartley, the 30-year-old, 73rd test match, plays his rugby for Northampton, the most experienced in this England squad, leads England out. It is welcome back to Australia, to England. The start of the first ever 3-test series against the Wallabies. Terrific atmosphere here.
Wonderful atmosphere in Brisbane. Nearly sold out, still people pouring into the ground at Suncorp Stadium. Billy Vunipola, how important will he be? He's had the most runs, most run metres and most tackle busts in the Six Nations. He's a wonderful player, and Eddie Jones wants him to carry the ball strongly across the advantage line today to set up his back line. Some wonderful players out wide. Anthony Watson as well, he's a speedster.
So Stephen Moore leads the Wallabies out. They're back at home in Australia. 2nd in the world rankings. Wallabies. This is the first time in Brisbane for almost 11 months, looking to keep their perfect record intact against England in Queensland. They won all 4 tests against England, 2 at Ballymore, the last 2 here at Suncorp. 4 debutants in the 23 tonight, 3 in the starting 15 for the first time since the opening test against the British and Irish Lions at Suncorp 3 years ago. And there is one of the debutants.
Yep, Samu Karevi looks upstairs. The wonderful player plays his first test match tonight. Queensland Reds, outside centre usually, but moved him in at number 12. Big centre pairing, Samu Karevi, Tavita Kurandrani. There's Nick Phipps as well. Michael Hooper, what a player he is, and great to see David Pocock. He'll work in tandem with David Pocock tonight. Scored 2 tries in his last 3 test matches here on this ground at Suncorp Stadium. A little bit of criticism early in the year, but he's bounced back. what's for him in open space tonight.
So the teams are lining up now for the national anthems. And now we have a special addition to the Test match night, the welcome to the country.
Deliver the acknowledgement of country.
I greet you in the language of my mob. I'm a Gurang woman. I come from central Queensland. But this evening I'm here to acknowledge the two teams who are playing tonight, the England team and the Australian team. We are walking, we are talking, we are gathering on Aboriginal country. So it is very important that we seek permission from them and to speak here on their behalf. So I acknowledge the Turrbal people to the north of the Brisbane River, and likewise I give honour and respect and acknowledge the Yuggera and the Yugurpal people to the south of the Brisbane River, and to kindly thank them for allowing us to walk, talk and gather and play football on their traditional hunting grounds, which they have looked after and cared for thousands of years. But this evening, we acknowledge England, we acknowledge Australia, and we know that we are tied together by many, many strings attached to each and every one of us. Would you believe it? I've got English blood in me. So thank you. So may the best team win. Wanyanga Galanyiri.
Auntie Velda Coolwell with the welcome to the country.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of England will now be performed by Bradley Daly, followed by the Australian national anthem performed by Luke Kennedy.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save our Queen.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia
Wow, rousing rendition, Advance Australia Fair. There, Michael Checker and his coaching staff electing to be part of all of that excitement out on the paddock. Head-to-head, they've played 44 times. Australia have won 25, England 18. There's been one draw at Suncorp Stadium. It's Australia 2, England 0. Australia winning in 98 and 2004. Owen Farrell, such a key player for this England team.
Wonderful player, plays for the Saracens club. His goal kicking will be really important. They won the double, the club championship and also the European Cup. And a lot of it was down to his goal kicking, Owen Farrell. Replaces George Ford at fly half. Billy Vunipola.
Sydney-born Billy Vunipola, and his brother Marco in jersey number 1 was born in Wellington. Well-travelled family, settled in England, and he has a huge future ahead of him. 126 kilograms. Watson, he has been electric, the man from Bath, to try in each of his last 4 tests, to try against the Wallabies in that Rugby World Cup pool of death encounter in 2015. 4 tries this season, 12 in total. The referee is Romain Poit from France. He also controlled Australia versus England at the Rugby World Cup in 2015. Craig Joubert and Glenn Jackson are on the touchlines, and the television match official is Ben Skeen from New Zealand. They're playing for the Cook Cup over 3 tests. England has held the Cook Cup since 2013. The Rugby World Cup fixture did not count.
Goal, please.
Israel Folau.
Ready to go?
39th test match. And we are underway in Brisbane. First of 3 tests. And it's going to be Bernard Foley kicking off for Australia. It's loose at the back. England have it inside their 22. Billy Vunipola. Expect plenty of that from him. Penalty. Holmes tried to get out of there, but he was trapped, and so the penalty, the first one of the match, goes to England. Let's go sideline to Rod Kafer.
That is the benefit of Billy Vunipola, someone to get over the gain line, win the collision, and all of a sudden you generate a penalty for yourself. It was a great run, Timmy.
Now, I think Dane Halapetty, he went down in back play. He's going back to his left wing now. Good pressure, though, for Michael Hooper and also captain Stephen Moore.
They fancy themselves at line-out time. Best team at line-out time in the Six Nations, England, and a good turn to take from the former captain, Chris Robshaw. And now they break away up towards halfway. Marco Vunipola driven back in the tackle. Scott Sio went in around the ribs and they turn it over. And out it goes to Karevi. He gives it to Kurandrani. And Horn, and now Dane Halapetty does well to stay in the field of play. Phipps to Foley. Oh, and hammered there was Pocock. He was in midair.
Haskell right up on him.
Now it's Folau, who got it out to Fadi. Over on the right, into the 22. Good build-up here for the Wallabies as Moore takes it straight ahead.
Numbers to the left, they've got to move it quickly.
And it is Arnold out the back it goes. Kurandrani floats one over to Halapetty. He floats it back into Pocock, backing up brilliantly. But it was Cole that made the tackle. Now it's Arnold. No way through there. The 2 locks combined to bring him down. They work it back to the left, and Horn got away from 1. Burrell went pretty high. Foley, Sio out the back. Karevi. Folau inside. Kurandrani pops it up to Karevi. 5 out. Phipps. Foley dummying. Got it away. And Holmes has pulled down about 3 metres out. But it might be stolen, yes. Terrific work by England at the breakdown.
Atogia he turned it over, got his hands in, still on the line, Vunipola.
Couple of metres out. Terrific opening, though.
Great pressure from the Wallabies on attack, but also wonderful defence from England. They had their defensive line right across the field. Guernsey.
Toje's first impact in the match, the first time he gets his hands on the ball, he turns the game. Just absolutely brilliant. Here's the hit on Pocock. What a cracker. He was airborne. made it a little easy, but some good play from the Wallabies. The way the Folau, Karevi, Kurandrani straightened up that attack was impressive.
That shape that the Wallabies use in attack there, twice Israel Folau had a match-up with Marco Vunipola. If he gets that a little bit later in the game, he'll smoke him cold. Disappointed not to see him take him on.
Yeah, I saw that, Kay, from the right-hand side. Need to put the foot down rather than passing it too early.
It's a good line-out win by the Wallabies. So they set it up again. Around the England 22. Fardy throws the dummy, goes to ground. Phipps at Foley, and now running onto it, Kurandrani taken by his opposite number, Jonathan Joseph. Penalty goes against the Wallabies again.
Yeah, watch Chris Robshaw. He got right on the ball. There was clear air. Number 6 for England, Samu Karevi, bit of claret. It was a good carry, though.
Holding on.
Tavita Kurandrani, flat pass. But Chris Robshaw from the Harlequins club in London, he pounced early.
Playing in those narrower channels will certainly benefit England. That's why Australia have had some success going wider.
Wasn't a great clean out there from Samu Karevi. Missed the mark early. They throw that cut one ball. He needs to be positioning himself to come in over the ball. Just a little bit lateral. Missed the mark.
Penalty again, taking the man out in the air. So England with an opportunity now to piggyback their way up into Australian territory.
So he's a captain, come on.
Scott Seo in there.
I'm talking short.
Dylan Hartley.
Just in the air. Just.
He's supposed to be the captain.
It's enough clear and obvious. I blow the whistle and of the story.
Yeah,
all right?
Sure. Yeah.
Penalty against goal.
Pulling down?
Yeah, pulling down in the air.
Tozier was, number 4 for England, was just in the air. See Rob Simmons putting his arm around him whilst he's in the air. Not out.
Wow. Mistake there, and Foley relieves a bit of pressure from for the Wallabies, and now Brown looking to open things up from broken play, and he's one of the best in the business at that. Here's the box kick, and Foley is taking it cleanly inside the 22. He sends it long. Brown has to run back into the 22, and he puts it onto the left foot. Folau. Lost to Hale at Petty. Looking for open spaces and sends Marlon Yard into the 22 this time. And he safely puts it into touch.
You can see both teams just trying to play early field position. So their set pieces at the other end of the field. Marlon Yard, good returning kick up to halfway. Eddie Jones, the coach of England, on the left-hand side. Michael Checker on the right, coach of the Wallabies. Both played for the Randwick Club in Sydney for a couple of years together in the same team.
Time off, no injury. Yeah, just tape.
Running repairs to the debutant, Samu Karevi. While we have this opportunity, we can have a look at the England bench. Not as experienced as the Australian bench when it comes to test caps. Joe Launchbury and Courtney Laws have been in the squad for some time. Danny Kerr, George Ford as well.
They'll use George Ford with about 20-25 minutes to go. Potentially put him at 10 and maybe move Owen Farrell out to 12. It's a good combination late in the game.
James Haskell from Wasp, but he has played some Super Rugby down under for the Highlanders. It's his first start against the Wallabies in his test career. It's his 69th test cap tonight. So Stephen Moore, now the 5th cap Wallaby, 103rd test cap tonight. Injured at Suncorp Stadium in 2014. His first test as captain. Bounced back from that horrific knee injury, and that's a little sloppy. And Phipps takes it into England territory. Hooper. Taken by Cruz, and now Arnold, tallest Australian ever. to play tests.
Bernard Foley taking the ball flat to the line. Needs a few runners just off his shoulder. Michael Hooper, his second run in the phase.
Now it's Arnold who got it across to his locking partner Simmons, and again he was isolated. It's going to come back for the Wallabies. And Foley out the back to Folau. Hitting it hard is Fardy, and he's wrapped up by Farrell. Sio up to the 22. So they've had plenty of territory, plenty of time in this territory, and Folau makes a break, and he got it over the top, and it's Hooper. Inside, desperate defence required by England. Pocock, quick hands. Arnold goes to ground. Short side they go. Karevi, Hooper! Try to Australia. Terrific pressure, dominating the territory, and they come up with the first points.
Oh, finally, Michael Hooper on his second go. Beautiful hands from Samu Karevi on the right-hand side. Michael Hooper gets his 10th rugby test try. And good play on the right-hand side, Samu Karevi. Israel Folau, watch him just slice through. Probably hands was the go here. There was a number just outside of him. Chose to go wide to Michael Hooper. And Hooper just recycled the ball and got back to his feet to the right-hand side, Samu Karevi. That's a poor read from out wide from Anthony Watson, the winger, to come in off his wing.
Timmy, we've just spoken about the opportunity for Israel Folau as the game went on to burn Mako Vunipola. With the shape that they use, where Vunipola ends up defending, 3 times in a row the ball's come to him. The first 2 times Izzy passes on him. That time he smokes him. And he puts the Wallabies into a position to score. And it's a good read from Nick Phipps to recognise that the opportunity was on the right, back on that little blind side. Samu Karevi, smart play, had to go forward and did. Drew the second last man in, and great try.
So Bernard Foley looking to add the extras. Foley was the only one of the team with a try against England. Now he's been joined by Hooper, and here's the first shot. And this one is away, so it is 5-0 Australia over England, and Michael Hooper's third try in the past 4 games at Suncorp Stadium.
The thing that's impressing me, Clarkie, is the Wallabies' hands. Usually the first game of the season, you get a lot of drop ball, things are a little uncertain. But the hands have been brilliant, particularly given the fact that England are flying up in defence as quickly as they can to shut us down.
Fardy goes high and takes it under a bit of pressure. Phipps. Arnold out the back, and not a great pass, and some real pressure there for Foley, but he got the pass away to Kurandrani. Phipps and Haylett Petty. This one will find touch up towards halfway.
You can see the English side have done their homework on the Wallabies and how they exit from a restart. The decoy plays. That time, Rory Arnold, a bit slow putting the ball back in behind. Bernard Foley was picked up very quickly. Owen Farrell there at fly half for the English team.
One at the back by Robshaw, down to Youngs. And Joseph got it away to Burrell.
No, no!
Well, he's going to pack down the scrum after all that. Ball was just sitting there.
You can see that Kearnsey where Rob Simmons just had his foot on the ball.
Ball was available for
Thank
White.
goodness it's scrum time, Clarkie. The game was starting to get boring. We need a scrum.
A lot of people have been waiting to see just what's going to happen with the scrums. Remember, Australia forced 5 scrum penalties against England in that World Cup encounter. They also conceded a couple as well. So they got the better of their opponents up front at scrum time.
First scrum in England. The Wallabies at Twickenham just hit and chased. Gave away a free kick because they were just so keen to get that very direct, straight line of pressure, Kearnsey. I can't wait to see it.
Well, yes, the Australian scrum had been so inferior to England for a lot of years, and that can leave an interesting, lingering taste in your mouth.
Interesting formation at the back of this England scrum. With Farrell, Brown and Yard standing.
We won't play like this, okay? You have your gap, and there is a way forward, okay?
Yeah, he's not going to put up with this rubbish. Mr. Poit. Very experienced referee.
You see the English back line, Owen Farrell, Mike Brown and Yard standing right behind the scrum. So Owen Farrell will choose which way to go depending on where the Wallabies line up in the back line.
And the free kick goes to Australia.
Damn. We wanted to see a contest there.
What do you call there, Kenzie? Unbalanced as they play on quickly.
And Foley goes wide to Hooper, who flings it over to Howlett Petty, who drops it onto the left foot. And Brown will go back and clean it up about 7 or 8 out from his own line and bangs it into touch. So there's a net gain there for the Wallabies, who lead by 5 points to 0 in the first of the 3-test Cook Cup series.
Dane Hallett-Petty's looked pretty good. Timmy early on.
Number one.
Doing the little things well, chasing kicks hard. When he's kicking, they're accurate. Got the Wallabies out of trouble moments ago. This is the Achilles heel, I think, for the Wallabies, the line out. England will look to really put pressure on.
There they go to the back to Hooper, down to Phipps and Foley. Cross to Folau now. Horn. Over on the far side. Howlett Petty. Taken by Brown, but they're inside the 22 again. Great field position for the Wallabies as Fardy goes to ground. Phipps to Foley. Moore, double round Foley. Bounce pass out to Vita Kurandrani. Yard holds his ground. Phipps. And now Holmes on his 33rd birthday. Happy birthday, Greg Holmes. Pops out the back and good hands, and through the legs it goes. And now Karevi got it out to Pocock. He's wrapped up, ball and all.
That time, Anthony Watson made a good call to come in off his wing. There was 2-on-1, had to make the tackle on Pocock.
Some big defence out there. And now it's Phipps and turns it back to Foley. He gives it to Pocock, who steps. Ball down by his opposite number, Vunipola. Phipps to Howlett Petty. Taken by Haskell. Arnold running into Tojo. Holmes out the back. Foley giving it to Folau. Israel Folau. What a try, Australia.
Oh, what about the ball from Bernard Foley? He just waited, and as the gap opened, Folau hits it. For all the young fly halves watching, watch the patience from Bernard Foley. Israel Folau gets his 19th test try. 10-0, the Wallabies. Continuity of play. Waiting. That was a positional play from Owen Farrell. He crept up out of the defensive line and opened the space up.
It's this, when we talk about shape in attack, this is the thing we're talking about. Israel Folau this time on the left-hand side of the field, the last time on the right-hand side of the field. He's looking to be outside those two forwards and then outside the first back. The two forwards either take it to the line, like we've seen Rory Arnold do really well, who's having a fantastic start to the game. He's bending the line. He generated the quick ball that allowed the Wallabies to then get in their shape. Once they're in that shape and Israel's sitting out the back, he can just pick to run a line, and you've got to be good to pull him down. Twice he's made the break, once for a try, once to set up a try.
Well, no try in 3 previous games against England, so he's broken that drought. He's top in metres, tackle busts and offloads in 2015 for the Wallabies. And now the second conversion attempt by Foley. And that is a good strike, but it hit the upright. And so another miss, but it is 10 points to 0.
When Michael Checker did the intro pre-match to his players, he said Bernard Foley's a better player this year than he was last year, and you got to agree. The way he bought himself some time there was special.
It's
on the ground.
Advantage goal.
Knocked on by England. Arnold out the back to Foley.
Advantage over, stay there.
Advantage is over and Foley picks out Brown. They will look to counter.
No, 3.
Youngs, the Crews. So England just have to work their way into this game now. As Pocock goes in hunting and turns it over.
25% possession, they turn over again. Wallabies with so much ball.
And that time it was the kick from Phipps. 10-metre mark, England territory. Short side they go. Hartley. Watson putting on some... Oh, it's Joseph putting on some footwork. And inside is Brown! Foley made the tackle, but it's been intercepted by Phipps. And now it's Rob Horn who gets it across to Kurandrani, taken by Yard on the 22. England go in looking for the ball. Plenty of action at Suncorp.
Back in.
Taken back. And so Bernard Foley has to keep it in the field of play. And again, he picks out Mike Brown, who runs it back to the 10. And he got it away to Watson. Youngs, Vunapola, Billy, wrapped up, ball and all. Quick recycle though, and back it goes to Farrell, who threw it back on the inside to Jonathan Joseph. This is a little better from England as Marco Vunapola takes it the direct route. And now his brother Billy.
Not one England player on the right-hand side of the maul.
And Joseph cut out pass to Brown, read well by Folau. It pops out the back, Youngs. Now Rob Shaw. Australia 22.
Very bunched at the moment, the Wallabies. They need to push to the left-hand side. Their spacing's not great.
And Billy Vunapola. Tackle had to be made. It was a good one.
Fine, turnover and getting by White.
Penalty.
No.
England wanting to play on quickly, but they've been called back, and the claret is pouring out of the right eye.
6 on the floor, preventing the ball out.
Finally, England get some possession, and they string some phases together. Getting their forward runners into play. Rob Shaw, Vunapola, Hartley. And also that man there, Owen Farrell, starting to get his patterns of play involved. Players inside. Just a couple of holes, Kaif, isn't there? Just around the edge of the breakdown, that right-hand edge.
There are. The Wallabies really caught on the hop by a couple of inside balls from England. Their ruck defence, their first man in the ruck defence is just leaving a little bit.
Both go to ground, I can come in. There's no ruck.
No, because you was on feet, but from the side.
Oh, okay.
It's a good react when I told you no, you release. That's fine. Happy with that.
I thought you were saying you could have stolen it.
No. Just from the side.
Just want to take well.
Great chat between Pocock and the referee, but the Wallabies just drifting out of that ruck defence.
To play on?
The first man's looking to just push a little bit too hard. I'd like to see him stay there a little bit longer, stay straighter, not leave, not follow the ball, because Owen Farrell's got a great running game from 10 and a lovely inside ball. Mike Brown loves that hole as well near the ruck. Look for him to come back, hide himself behind the ruck and go through those gaps.
Owen Farrell, who was the leading point scorer in the Six Nations this year, 412 test points, second on the all-time list for England behind Johnny Wilkinson, and there is the first points in this 3-test series to England. It's a penalty.
And they turned a bit of pressure into points, England, which is really important. They hardly been down in the Wallabies territory, and they come away with 3 points. And we had just over 30% possession so far in the first 20 minutes of this test match.
21 minutes gone, 10-3, Wallabies over England. Over Foley. Bit of hang time there. It'll come down on the 22 or just inside. And Brown did well taken by Pocock.
Outside.
Dane Hallett-Petty down in back play again. Slow to his feet.
There's the box kick, the high box kick, and taken brilliantly by Folau. 10-metre mark. And they throw it wide to CO and Karevi. One-handed pass out to Fardy. And now Rob Horn, vice-captain in 2016, Rob Horn. Great reward for his efforts. And the inside ball to CO from his captain Moore. The Brumby combination. Simmons. Phipps under some real pressure there. And Pocock. What about passing and just as a settler? Now Phipps is back in position. And Foley out the back and Kurandrani trying to run over the top of his opposite number, Jonathan Joseph.
At the moment, the Wallabies are playing fairly deep in attack because of the rush up defence from England at the moment. So Bernard Foley standing a metre or two a bit deeper.
Penalty again. Terrific work. Over the ball, England.
Holding on.
Holding on is the call. And Maro Otoje, the former England under-20s captain, the man of the match in the Six Nations against Wales, was right over the top of the ball legally.
Well, he's a quick second rower. He's played back row as well, so he knows his way around that breakdown. It mightn't hurt, and I can't believe I'm saying this, for the Wallabies to maybe put something just in behind that English defensive line.
What? Kearnsey, a chip kick?
Or a grubber.
Oh, you've changed.
Wallabies will have to watch their discipline because now they have given away 5 penalties.
Once.
And Youngs doing it to Watson. Such an electrifying runner, but there's no space there. Now it's Cruz. CO and Cooper in there. To the left they go. Wallabies have a man down. It's Rob Simmons. Looks to be in distress.
No, it's
penalty now to the Wallabies.
Yeah, he's not happy, Rob Simmons. Very rarely goes down.
On the ruck. Holding us on the ruck. Just at the ruck, they're just holding us back.
Yeah.
We're trying to play fast.
Okay, but they are fine when I penalize your ball carrier.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Time off.
Just when we're trying to get away to the next ruck, they just...
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's all.
Okay, we pay attention to that.
Stephen Moore just asking for the referee to have a bit of a look. That player's being held. Oh, Rob Simmons going down either on an ankle or his knee as he came down from that line out.
He's just talking about number 1 England, Romania.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry? Number 1 England. Yes, just holding...
right ankle,
flag.
look at it. Or...
Okay.
Yeah, ankle, knee.
No, he's not happy, Rob Simmons.
61st international for the Queensland lock. Made his debut at this venue in 2010. Won the most lineouts for the Wallabies in 2015. Well, they had plenty of experience in the locking department on the bench. And they'll afford to lose their lineout quarter so early in the test match. James Hall and Dean Mumm, replacement locks. So he's on his feet.
It looks like he's coming from the field. He'd be disappointed, especially as you mentioned, Clarkie, that the line-out call is really important now. So James Hall about to come on to Suncorp Stadium, a ground that he knows very well, obviously from the Queensland Reds, now plays for the Harlequins team in London.
Welcome back to Suncorp Stadium. Welcome home, James Hall.
Gee, he
played
fit.
3 tests since 2015.
He looks very fit.
He's just come off a very long season with Harlequins.
Let's go, good.
Only finished about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Good. 10. Let's go.
It was sad for Rob Simmons.
And that one is not out. So a wasted opportunity, and Brown sends it back down. to Haylett Petty. And he goes high. Billy Vunipola is back there and takes it brilliantly. England just inside their own territory. Farrell picks out Folau. He keeps it pretty low, and that one needs to bounce infield. It doesn't, and so a mistake off the boot of Israel Folau will come all the way back. He was outside the 22.
Really critical time in the game now. 15 minutes left in the first half. Israel Folau doesn't make too many mistakes. It's allowed England to get some pressure.
And it's been won by Australia, but then...
I told you, wow.
He just reached out and dragged it back in, and now Vunipola claimed there by Hooper. Terrific opportunity now for England. Young's out to Farrell. Hitting it up is Burrell. Young's Hartley, the captain.
Another wallaby down there.
Vunipola. It's Rob Horne who is down. And Young's to Yard. Pocock made the tackle. Hooper in there trying to disrupt. And towed through, but the penalty will go against the Wallabies.
Outside position.
Ruck was formed.
Ruck form.
So Michael Hooper penalised. Ruck was already formed.
Ruck form, you are in outside
Rob Horne
position.
really groggy back to his feet. Caught one on the jaw. He put a good shot on.
Thank you. Okay.
I think it was Chris Robshaw coming through, and Rob Horne very groggy.
7 offside.
Watch Michael Hooper comes through the middle. The ruck was already formed.
Yeah, Wallabies complaining a couple of times now about being held back in the breakdown when they're trying to get to the next phase.
No worries, Dylan. I'm looking out.
I noticed one of the England players before they're yelling out, no kicking in the maul. Where in fact,
there was
he was
fair from
holding
my
a
view.
Wallaby
I
player
can do mistake, but there was fair when I didn't blow.
England are starting to get their forward runners into this game with some really good ball carries, strong carries. Both the Vunipolas, Cruz, Robshaw.
Bread and butter stuff for Owen Farrell. Right in front. And it's another 3 points, so it's 10 points to 6. Good comeback by England after being down 10 points to 0.
Yeah, they haven't panicked, England, Cape, have they? They've just taken their time, starting to get a bit more ball possession, which they knew would come.
They're a side who understands how to win. They've played a lot of tight matches. 7 on the trot from the World Cup last year. They're in good form.
Plenty of possession for England
Time
in the
off.
last 5 minutes.
Leilani coming on the field for Rob Horne.
11.
Be a concussion test, you would think, for Rob Horne. So he's on the left-hand side, so Leilani.
Time back on.
So will they all move out one?
We'll have a concussion test, Rob Horne. A special moment for Christian Lealiafano, his partner Lunga. Gave birth to a baby son, Jeremiah, during the week. So, good possession for Australia. And Foley up over the 22, showing and going and scoring a sensational try. Bernard Foley, he does it on his own.
I'll come back and have a look, Clarkie.
Time off.
To see if there was a decoy in that play early on.
Ben, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Roman.
Any reason why I cannot award the try? Could you check if there is an obstruction in midfield around 45 meters in our English side, please?
We'll check the footage for any reason not to award the try, starting with potential obstruction.
Yes, please.
So looking for the obstruction very early on was a decoy play out the back. So an English player was checked. I think it might have been Jonathan Joseph, midfield. just there. Burrell, it was. So
yeah, he was past him, wasn't he? Foley passed him by the time he was touching. There's no way he was going to get to him.
Well, could he have affected a tackle on the space that Foley went through there?
I think the law is if that ball is inside the runner, then it's a potential obstruction. The ball's not outside Rory Arnold. This would be obstruction.
Yeah.
It's definitely obstruction. If Foley had been on the outside of Arnold, then there's no problems. But he's on his inside, and he definitely checks a man. As you can see, they're still inside.
And that's a space that Foley takes, yep. There'll be no try.
Roman?
Yes, please.
That is the best footage available.
Okay. Decision? Ben?
Sorry, Roman. The decision, the gold player is not in a position to catch the ball, and he is the one who then initiates contact.
I fully agree with you. No try and penalty against the gold.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Took a while, but they got there.
Not in position to receive the ball in front and hitting the players. That's not a try, it's an obstruction.
Well, after all that, no try.
Roman, can we do a substitution?
So all would taken for Rory Arnold just to pull out or just to go
12 white.
Run straight through. But that's why the gap was created for Bernard Foley. It's a wonderful run from Bernard Foley.
22 is coming onto the field, and that is Danny Kerr.
Okay, right. Time back on. No try, obstruction.
So coming from the field was Luther Burrell.
Well, that's an interesting decision because
now England looking to catch them napping. Going to pull up. Penalty, or what's happening here? Yep.
Time off.
Time off, so.
Ruck form, you came in a second time. Away, Steven. Too many infringement at the breakdown. Tackler not rolling away. Offside position. Number 8 going in a second time when the ruck is formed. Have a word about that for your team, okay?
Opportunity now here.
Ruck form,
Farrell.
hands.
He's going to take the shot for goal. I thought Kearnsey maybe with about 11 minutes to go before half-time, you could put that ball in the corner and really try and tighten the screws here.
Well, they certainly backed their rolling maul from a line-out. Wallabies have done a pretty good job. Oh, there's a hand round the head from Rob Shaw of Pocock. Maybe that should have gone upstairs as well. Yeah, they backed their rolling maul, but the Wallabies have shut it down reasonably well in the match so far.
So George Ford, number 22, is on the field, so just looking for a bit more pattern to play. He would most likely probably go to 10 and then Farrell move out to 12, you would think.
We were told that they'd switch numbers, Kerr and Ford, but Ford is out there for Burrell. So with 10 minutes to go in the first half, Farrell looking for his third successful penalty. And he has got it on a string so far. 10 points to 9.
Once again, getting some points away from the effort. As soon as they get into the Wallabies half, I said before the game, Owen Farrell will be really crucial with his goal kicking. It was wonderful through the Six Nations, the time that he got David Pocock penalised on that occasion. Discipline's key for both teams.
Well, and goal kicking critical for the Wallabies too. They've missed 2 from 2.
Penalties conceded. Australia 8, England 1. And Foley kicking for Caleb Petty's wing and taken control by Otojo.
Stay there.
Vunapola. The box kick down to Folau. Oh, and having to go back and clean up is Karevi, and he keeps it on the toe, and it is a try to Jonathan Joseph. Whoa!
Oh, what pressure from England. They've been rushing up in defence all night, and they get more reward. Jonathan Joseph put some pressure on, got through. Samu Karevi couldn't control at the back. Jonathan Joseph gets his 9th Test try. They've been pushing up out wide, trying to put the Wallabies under pressure and make them go back in field. Watch the pressure from the England team out wide, moving up with some space. Samu Karevi couldn't handle it. Joseph did extremely well to keep it on the toe. Now we have a ball game just before half-time.
Poor execution of basic skill there. Israel Folau on the run, drifting across field. Sometimes hard to throw that pass. Bernard Foley, poor pass. Samu Karevi didn't take his time. And Farrell adds the extras.
And so it is 16 points to 10. 16 unanswered points by England, the Six Nations champs.
Eddie Jones will be comfortable. He said during the week, Kernsey, that if they're ahead after 25, 30 minutes, they won't be caught.
No, he did. He backed himself on that. They've been very good in the last 15 minutes. They've lifted their intensity. The Wallabies have perhaps dropped theirs, haven't had their hands on the ball as much. And you can see this lovely rolling ball from England. This is what they love, this grinding stuff. It's not pretty. They're not going to create anything brilliant. It'll come from this stuff.
And it's a box kick, and it is Folau taking it up around halfway.
Stay there, White.
And Bernard Foley picks out, Brown, who doesn't make those sort of mistakes all that often.
Well, Brown was looking downfield. He saw some wide open spaces, and he wanted to run there. You need the ball in hand first, Mike.
I think Bernard Foley has now started to realise that there's space in behind that rush up the fence. Rob Horn goes to the bench. Doesn't look like he'll be coming back onto the field after the concussion test.
Definitely failed it, Tim. Won't be back. Wallabies with a 6-2 bench. Christian Lealiufano now the permanent replacement. Only Nick Frisbee left on the bench. The Wallabies now need to get themselves back into the game, relax, go back to the things that have worked well. Kernsey, our first scrum, hopefully.
Hopefully we'll get a completed scrum.
Crutch!
Stay here.
Bind!
Stay, boys.
Set!
Gee, there's a lot of talk in there.
Toje, Toje number 4 there, only youngster, but gee, he's a big lump of the lad, isn't he?
No, just to make sure everybody has a good way to engage. To now there?
To the left of the mark.
Just slipped on Holmesy's side, Greg Holmes' side.
Second side. Goalie, back it up! Barrow, let me feel
Crutch! Bind! Set!
Review by Spider Cam, and the penalty goes to Australia. Got a push and shove.
For the polar in there, Toje.
Time off, Ben. Hey.
I didn't do anything.
Number 3, inching.
So
Number 3, inching. Number 3, inching.
We want to do this. We want to clean stuff.
I know. Let's go.
So Dan Cole penalised for England.
Time on.
Hinging at the
Inching
scrum.
number 3.
So Bernard Foley steps up now. About 30 metres out, just off to the left-hand side of the post. And Nigger was after the scrum. For the polar coming through on Nick Phipps. Plenty of feeling out there tonight. This English forward pack, they are certainly up for this test match.
4 minutes remaining in the first half.
None from 2 from Bernard Foley so far tonight.
"20 metres in from touch, a little over 30 metres back." Will it be third time lucky for Bernard Foley? It holds its line. This time over it goes. The gap narrows. So it's 16 points to 13. England over Australia. What do you make of the scrum, Phil Kearns?
Yeah, well, you just see here on this side, Coles. Here we can focus right in after the hit. You see his shoulder there. He drops his bind. We've got to say, a little lucky. Seo's slips out from underneath him and he's held in a pretty difficult position. Cole's saying, "I want a scrum, sir. I want a scrum."
Grevy just hands it back to Foley. He gets the kick away, and this one is into touch, but they throw it in quickly to Brown. Up over halfway, works down that narrow channel, and Seo, a good chase by the front rower to get to the fullback. And now it's Vunapola and Ford got it away. Hartley and Rockshaw, quick hands. Farrell floats it over to Yard. 1-on-1. Marlon Yard taken though by the debutant Alec Petty, and then kicked into touch by Pocock.
Oh, what a tackle. Dane Hallett-Petty, if he misses him, he scores in the corner. He knows it, 2 yard. He just needed that extra bit. Lovely play, interchange of play. Owen Farrell over the top. Dane Hallett-Petty. He knew how important that was. Just showed him that sideline, Cave, didn't he?
Great tackle, Timmy. You know how hard that is to make against a guy with genuine pace.
And Hartley finds Itoje.
18 fine, 18 fine.
Young goes in looking for it.
Geez, Hall did a great job there.
And now the yard taken by Pocock. Vunapola, a twist out of the tackle, and Michael Hooper was the tackler. He couldn't get his hands on the ball. And knocked on by England.
There's a good shot from one of the...
Yeah, Hooper, I think it was, wasn't it?
Good defence
7
in
is
close.
fine, no red form, tackler.
Yeah, Michael Hooper. Been getting through, making plenty of tackles, Hooper. Up to 8-9 tackles now. The first half.
No, it was Holmes. Holmes made the hit. Wallaby feed this time.
Thanks.
Closer, closer.
Closer and up.
Win the pen. Yeah. Win the scrum.
Catch. Bind.
Have him.
Set.
Square.
Signals with Spider Cam. It's all there for you to see. And the penalty this time goes against the Wallabies.
Well, you can see Seo extended then. Really legs laid out long.
Going down.
He seemed to be folding in too with the pressure, Kearns. He didn't a really crucial penalty against the Wallabies. 30 seconds before half-time, Owen Farrell steps up to add another 3 points.
You can see the heads in nice and close together, and Seo's straight down there. Cole, well, you see the angle of his shoulder. He's bending straight in sideways, but not much you can do when Seo's laid out like that.
Thank you, Ben.
So the penalty's really hurting the Wallabies in the first 40 minutes. It's the pressure coming from this England pack in the last 20 minutes of this first half.
Farrell. He's 4 from 4 so far. Wallabies conceding 9 penalties to 2. Final act of the first half, you would think. The boot of Owen Farrell, and he strikes it brilliantly. It's holding its line. It's over, and it is England after trailing 10-0 early on, leading at the break by 19 points to 13 at Suncorp Stadium. And now we can get a word from one of the Wallabies. Let's now go to Rod Kafer with Nick Phipps.
Thanks, Clarkie. Yeah, Nick, good start from the Wallabies. Lost your way maybe in the middle of that first half.
Yeah, we did. You know, we sort of let them off a hook with a few things, a few silly errors. So we just got to go back to basics now. We've got to start doing the little things right and treating every contest like it's their own separate battle. You look like when you had the ball, the shape was nice early on. That's it. We failed to get the ball down in their half and the back end of that half. So, you know, we're going to be rectifying that now. I'm sure Czech will have a few choice words for us, and then hopefully we'll start with a bang. See you in the second half. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Half-time here at Suncorp. It's England leading the Wallabies 19-13.
Well, England leading Australia 19 points to 13 at Suncorp Stadium. The first test of this much anticipated 3-test series. We were told it was going to be physical. It's been exactly that. Michael Hooper, he's been outstanding. Thanks for your company on Fox Sports. Well, we heard Nick Phipps say it. John Eales, George Gregan, before the break, the Wallabies started well, lost their way.
Could not have been a better start for the Wallabies tonight. They were just so strong in so many different ways. Breaking the line, controlled play, and then England worked their way into the game. A few turnovers, just consistent play.
Yeah, the tempo was fantastic from the Wallabies right from the get-go. The ball handling you saw in that highlights package, attacking that right edge with Israel Folau with some dangerous ball carries with footwork and passing. It was a really good, positive start from the Wallabies team. They hadn't played since last year, and that's what you want to see. You want to see Israel Folau one-on-one with space, and didn't they finish well here? Michael Hooper could have gone over the sideline. No, he didn't. He held it, and they went back down that little short side, and they were rewarded with a really good team try, really good vision there from Nick Phipps too, Ealesy.
And we're seeing some great hands from Karevi as well. He's been taking it up hard, but he's also some subtleties there as well. And this was the second try. Foley just timing the pass beautifully for Israel Folau to get over, score that try. And at this point in the game, there was one team in it, and it was the Wallabies. But then we had some turnovers and a bit of bad luck.
Yeah, this is a big call, but it was the right call. Like, if you're in front of the player and that player hasn't beaten the defender once the pass is thrown, then that's a correct call technically in terms of an obstruction. And from that's a big turnaround. A mistake here, poor pass. Look at this. This try came from nothing. Couldn't quite clean that up. Karevi, and then Joseph on hand to score a try totally against the run of play. That's like a 14-point swing, and then they really nailed home that with some good kicking also from the back end here from Mr. Farrell, who doesn't miss too much, does he?
So there it is. Just the one try for England. It is the boot of Owen Farrell. The Wallabies heavily penalised in that first half. Hooper and Folau, the try scorers for Australia. Let's get some half-time. Fox Field, here's Rod Kafer.
Thanks, Nick. Speaking about the shape and Israel Folau and his influence on the game, the try scored just came from that perfect setup when all goes right in your team attack. That structure that the Wallabies use where they put a man out the back, a running player like Bernard Foley. Owen Farrell makes the mistake, feels the overlap, comes out of the line and can't come up with the clutch tackle that he needed to make. It's been some very, very nice attacking shape from the Wallabies.
Thank you, Kafe. So the Wallaby dressing room and that possession evened up. By the time the England side first scored some points, they only had about 30% possession. But it's the penalties conceded, Ealesy.
A lot of penalties conceded, 9-2. That stat just says so much, as does the turnovers. They're the only two stats which go against the Wallabies. The chat here amongst them needs to be very determined. They need to stay very composed, but they've got to know that they've got to do the hard work. If they do it and they trust themselves, they trust their fitness, they trust the work over the last 2 weeks, they'll get there.
And they do have some work to do. Let's get to another break. Half-time, it is England leading 19 points to 13.
Welcome back to Suncorp Stadium, where it is England leading Australia 19 points to 13 at half-time. Australia led 10 points to 0 at one stage. And this year, England, they have conceded only 40 points all up in their 6 test matches in the second half, so that's 6.7 on average in 2016, so they've been very greedy. Let's now hear from Nathan Gray, the assistant coach of the Wallabies.
Nathan, what was the message at half-time?
Yeah, the message from Jack was just to maintain our consistency when we're playing with the ball, increase our work with our supporting players around the ruck, and try and pick up the speed of the game in these first 10 minutes and put them under more pressure.
Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.
The side kick.
Romain White from France, about to get us underway. Australia starting this test match with 6 forwards and 2 backs on the bench, and already there was one back, Rob Horn, the vice-captain. And it is Ford, the replacement, kicking off, and Horwald takes it for the Wallabies.
Outside. What out?
Phipps out to Foley, and standing flat-footed there was Hooper, and great pressure again from England. Back in the pocket is Foley.
Take on.
Gets the kick away, and it is into touch, so not a bad exit, but a good opportunity for England to attack.
Well, they're putting pressure on Nick Phipps and Bernard Foley. That's a ploy that Eddie Jones would have put in place as a game plan. A lot of pressure goes to Phipps, which then the pass is a little bit slower. That man there, Bernard Foley.
They go to the front of the line out this time, trying to catch the Wallabies napping, and Cole has a run. Dan Cole. Still there for England. Flat pass to Monapola, and Pocock is over that one, and he earns the penalty.
Now first, holding on. 18, stay up, okay? Silent 3, off your feet straight.
Yeah, what's the work from David Pocock? He gets in there very quickly. Bernard Foley goes long and deep. It's a wonderful kick.
That's a super kick.
David Pocock, so strong over the ball.
On the line wide. Line wide.
Wallabies, another 7-man line-out. They haven't got any short line-outs yet in the game. Rory Arnold jumping at number 2 in the line-out. You've seen their second in.
And they go to Fardy, and he pops it straight down to Phipps. Flat pass to Foley, who has Kurandrani running onto it inside the 22. Wallabies needing points, but they make a mess of that one. Arnold couldn't control it. A loose carry, and they let the pressure valve off. And Robshaw floats one over to Watson. He's got a little bit of room to move, and he kicks over the top, and who wants it? It's there for Kurandrani. Bounces beautifully for the Wallabies. Short side they go. Penny forward. They try and hold him up. Now he goes to ground. 10-metre mark.
Long way offside, the England.
James Haskell's flying out of the line, the red headgear, putting a lot of pressure on the Wallaby back line.
And now it goes backwards, and Lealiafano, who hasn't had too much time to train with the team because the birth of his first child, and the penalty goes against the Wallabies, and that's real pressure from England too. They're confident, they're growing in confidence as well. Finished the first half brilliantly, and now they get an opportunity to get first points in the second half
we won't talk every time after
the boot of Owen Farrell.
We won't talk like this.
Well, it's the pressure from the speed of the English defensive line rushing up, putting pressure on the Wallaby back line. They just seem to be shoveling the ball even though there's pressure coming through. And Billy Vunipola got himself over the ball.
It's one way to silence the crowd at Suncorp Stadium. Remember, England still scarred by that loss in 1998, 76 points to 0. Admittedly, it wasn't the top England team, but they've been reminded about that many times since they've arrived down under. But this is a team on the rise. And Farrell. He's had some fairly easy shots at goal. That's 10 penalties conceded by the Wallabies so far. And Farrell, will it have the legs this time? No, and it hits the post, and now big tackle there on Pocock. They did well to get there.
Yeah, Chris Robshaw flew up out of the line and chased the ball. He was the only chaser for England.
And now it's Folau. And we watch the pressure now come from the men in white.
Use it!
They're being told to use it, and it will be Phipps with the box kick, and this one is into touch. Mike Brown and Nathan Gray, the assistant coach, the water boy. A little bit of a
Nathan Gray was trying to touch the ball so that Mike Brown couldn't throw a quick line out. If the ball is touched from anyone outside the... See Nathan Gray just putting his hand up. They can't throw a quick line out. Nathan Gray thought he was playing.
Well, Gray's saying, listen, I'm in my little box that I'm allowed to be in, so put your head in. I wouldn't want to take him on if I was Mike Brown.
There's a bit of a rumble coming from England, so it's now Haskell. Haskell stepping. Tackle had to be made from Hooper, but here come England. Great break by Haskell, and now who can finish it off? Gunapola, 5 metres out.
Huge numbers to the right, they can shift it.
And it is Ford who floats one over the top to Marlon Yard, who is unmarked, and he is in for the try. What a try. Started by Haskell and finished by Marlon Yard, the man from Harlequins.
How did Haskell get through there? He just picked the ball up from the breakdown and went straight through. It was a last-ditch tackle from Michael Hooper. Hooper has to come in, makes the tackle, but then they get a quick ball. They knew where the space was, and the replacement that came on, George Ford, knew there was space out there, and Yard goes across for another try to England.
Issue for the Wallabies has been an attack with their breakdown, and occasionally when you come together as a team and you're working on these new attacking structures, they look really good against no opposition. The Wallabies are playing with a back rower way out wide on both of the flanks when they've got the ball, and sometimes it can leave you a little short in the midfield, and they've been turned over 3 or 4 times. They've got to address the Wallabies, their attacking shape and their ability to have continuity with the ball. They need one other player at their attacking breakdowns.
So Farrell. Suncorp Stadium crowd hushed by England. And there's another 2 points from the boot of Owen Farrell. So terrific start to the second half by England. 26 points to 13. And the English fans are on their feet in Brisbane.
Yeah, well, Michael Checker was the one that said they wanted to increase the speed of the game and the intensity. Well, England have upped that again. Great pace. Dean Mumm coming to the field, replacing James Hall. No, replacing Rory Arnold.
All good.
Had a good debut, Rory Arnold.
Hey, Macon.
Should be happy with his performance.
45th Test appearance for Dean Mumm. Captained the Wallabies during the World Cup in one match. And the Wallabies just can't get their hands on the ball, but now Hooper has it. What a run up to the 22. Penalty advantage being played for the Wallabies as Holmes gives it to Foley, and Aylett Petty held up by Ford, but then he still picks up another metre or so over the 22. Phipps out to Hooper and Foley. More dummies. Cruz wraps him up. They need a scrum half. CO, pick and go. Phipps, Corwell. Cole had to make the tackle, and he did so. Spun out the side, nothing happening there, and so...
Full support.
It's a penalty to the Wallabies. He was playing a long advantage.
Andrew, man, you have to have a word with 6 White holding the gold number 9 back off to the right.
Michael Hooper has been brilliant tonight. Through the middle, it was from the restart. Israel Folau got up, got his hands on the ball, and it fell back into Michael Hooper's lap. Now, The Wallabies brave call, Stephen Moore.
Well, there's plenty of time left in the test match.
Behind by 13 points, Stephen Moore goes for touch. Inspirational captain.
You're going to have a good rolling maul against this big England pack. What have the Wallabies got up their sleeve? 4-man line out.
So Stephen Moore goes to the front and they cough it up.
Off white. Oh, now it's a knock on.
Dan Cole did really well at the front of the line out. The tight head prop for England. He's been studying the videos of the Wallaby line out. Saw Dean Mumm standing at the front.
Come closer.
Starting to get a little heated up front there. The English got a lot of chat going on.
I think the Wallabies need to calm themselves down. Their play's erratic, lost shape in attack. You can see the players are starting to get flustered. Maro Itoji's done a great job at winding up the Wallabies. He's talking, chatting. It's a fantastic game. He's under the skin of the Wallabies and they're feeling it.
He's only 21. What's he going to be like with 2 or 3 years of test rugby under his belt? Have a reset.
A lot of experience in the English team. Plenty of Saracens players who won the championship, both the locks, Koji, Cruz, and Farrell as well.
Seems such a long time ago that the Wallabies were up by 10 points to 0. Since then, England scoring 26 points to 3.
Guernsey, Scott Seo really struggling on the loose head side.
Yeah, massively. You see Cole angling straight in. He's making it really difficult for Seo.
And the penalty goes to England. And they're high-fiving. And they're smiling at the moment, the English.
Good pressure from the English pack. And they're full of running too. Plenty of chat coming from the English team. And you're right, Kate, the Wallabies just a little bit flustered, just need to settle down a little bit. There's a lot of time left, 30 minutes left in this game. So the Wallabies penalised for the illegal wheeling of the scrum. Shorter line out, 5-man line out for England. Toji again.
Notice Courtney Laws warming up on the sideline as well. The Wallabies are going to get the foot into this scrum.
Castle here.
Scrum ball.
Toji, there he is, number 4. Huge raps on him in UK rugby.
You can see why, Tim. He plays like a back rower. Runs like an outside centre.
That's James Haskell in the red headgear, number 7 for England.
Set.
On the far side, Scott Seo is under enormous pressure from Dan Cole. Number 1, Scott Seo up against number 3 from England.
Number 1 goal, number 3 goal. White.
Yeah, he's calling both Cole and also Seo out.
Yes. Number 1, please. The issue is on your side. We didn't play any scrum. Just be careful now. From now, we want to play scrum fairly. Stable, feed, and we play on afterwards. All right? Sorry? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, lots of games around angles going on in the front row. Just nothing straight and solid yet that we've seen in this match.
good opportunity for the Wallabies if they do get quick ball. Backline runners in motion. Samu Karevi standing second last out on the right-hand side, the headgear.
Fine. Set.
There's a shot coming from England. And they get the penalty again. They're on top, the men in white.
Good two. Captain number 1.
And he's going to go to the pocket. So Scott Seo is in the bin. Too many infringements at the scrum.
Huge 8-man shove too, wasn't it, from England? Wallabies ball, and England really on the front foot at scrum time.
What about the turnaround from the match at Twickenham last year, with the Wallaby pack dominating for most of the game, but
really,
not at Suncorp.
They've really done a lot of homework. England coaching staff, Steve Borthwick, Paul Gustar, the defensive coach, and Eddie Jones. They've worked out the exit plays for the Wallabies, and they've gotten their faces early on.
So they can really ram home the advantage now, England. They'll try and rumble this and look for the penalty. There's a Wallaby going to ground there. And the penalty comes to England.
Well, Scott Fardy penalised. He was trying to think it was a collapsed maul. He's been penalised for collapsing the maul.
That was the maul, you pull down.
Another opportunity now. Owen Farrell steps up just off to the right-hand side of the post. Samu Karevi getting more tape around the cut in his head that he got early on, but this English forward pack have really stepped it up a gear. Scott Fardy there, must release.
It's the combination and the mix-up from England tonight, which has been really good from them, has been the tempo of the game. The Wallabies like to play at one tempo, and that's fast. England have mixed it up. They've had slow tempo when they've needed to, but then there have been times in the game where they've really sped it up. They've looked for quick line-outs, and they've looked to play with the ball and use the ball. And then they'll go back, slow it down, get a good solid set piece, and grind Australia away. It's been a masterful tactical performance from England.
And Farrell, 6 from 7 so far. And the penalty count rises. 13 conceded by Australia, just 4 by England. 56 minutes gone, and this one's going to come around nicely for Farrell again. The flags go up. England are up by 29 points to 13.
It was always going to be a challenge for the Wallabies. Haven't played a test match since the World Cup final. And England have played 6 test matches, 5 in the Six Nations and 1 a couple of weeks ago against Wales.
Michael Hooper.
Now some fresh legs for the Wallabies. Stephen Moore leaves the field.
So too Greg Holmes. So Tatafu Pilota now is out there. And it is welcome back also to Sekope Kepu as the Wallabies. Now or never for them. Cook Cup on the line over 3 tests in this series. The first 3 test series ever by England and Australia. And England in the box seat at the moment. Didn't start too well for them, down by 10 points to 0.
Outside.
But what about the rest of the game? And a good take again by Folau. 10-metre mark. Now it's Horwell.
Gee, Haskell's been everywhere, the number 7 for England, moving up quickly in defence.
Out the back door it goes to Haylett Petty. And he got the pass away to Karevi. Limited opportunities for the man on debut, but a good carry up towards the 22. Phipps thought about going to the right, went to the left, and Fardy is out there. Farrell makes a tackle with Ford. And now Marco Vunipola around the bootlaces. Lealiafano, Foley, wide ball, Folau, and he got it across now to Hooper, and he's going to back himself, and Michael Hooper He has got another try. Michael Hooper, who is now the captain, and he has got a double at Suncorp.
I find the Wallabies get across the advantage line and get quick ball. Nick Phipps was brilliant. He's been taken out off the play after his passes, but he gets some quick ball away. Back in play, and that pass there was brilliant from Bernard Foley. And Michael Hooper, you thought he was going to come back in off his right foot, but he's got so much pace out wide. Christian Liliafano knew there was space out wide, and the ball from Foley.
It's that shape again. The Wallabies can exploit you if they get good go-forward ball, but they've got to win their collisions. They've got to get carrying forward, get across the gain line, then they're set up beautifully, and it's nice, that play. It's becoming a little bit predictable from them, but it's effective. All their tries, all their breaks coming off that same structure. It looks really nice.
It's that second wave play, Cave, isn't it, where it goes behind a couple of forward runners, but the majority of the match, Eddie Jones has had some flyers up and actually trying to pick up the runner that the ball goes to behind those forward runners. At time, English pack were on the back foot.
Foley. It's 1 from 3 in the first half. Full of concentration. Reach to get the radar working, and this one is away to the left, so a little rusty tonight. It's 29 points to 18. It is England over Australia. So 3 tries unconverted as CO looks on in the bin, and that's a 3rd career double for Michael Hooper. Scored 2 against the Pumas and also against Ireland in the past. So we're at the halfway stage of the second half.
Whenever you want.
What a finish we are in for if the Wallabies can score next.
Courtney Laws on for England. George Cruz leaves the field.
Karevi floating with the touchline, throws it back into Kepu. He knows well to stay on the field of play. That's the 22. And Halapeti just gets the kick away under some pressure. Coming forward is Brown. He's playing 10-metre mark. It'll come back for England. And Youngs to Billy Vunipola. Tupelo and Pocock over the top. Good tackle by Pocock. And now,
stay wide.
Looking for a bit of territory, and taking it is Halapeti, who sends it down the middle of the park. George Ford safely into touch.
Eddie Jones, Cave, made a smart play getting that man there, George Ford, onto the field very early on in the first half, and had that combination with Owen Farrell, because it allows 2 kicking fly halves and 2 ball receivers and players.
It's the balance he's got, Tim, I think also in the forward pack, where he's got runners now. Marco Vunipola and Billy didn't play, he didn't start against the Wallabies at Twickenham. 2 extra ball runners, genuine ball runners in your forward pack makes a huge difference and gives you those options in the back line to not have to rely on them. Add a Toji into the mix and it's pretty powerful.
And one over the top, and Pocock will clean it up on halfway. Horwell.
Oh, big hit. Vunipola on Horwell.
Ran into a goal, but the penalty goes against England.
22 offside. In midfield, 22.
He's got one of the backs, George Ford, for being offside. Rushing up.
Thanks, guys.
He's got his timing wrong, so a relieving penalty for the Wallabies, and now Bernard Foley will look to put it into touch over on the far side.
James Horwell getting through an enormous amount of work after coming on the field as a replacement for Rob Simmons early on. His experience is really important. Making plenty of carries, just come off a long season in the UK playing for the Harlequins club. He gets a couple of teammates here tonight. Chris Robshaw is one of them.
Just in case we are outside
Australia scoring 3 tries, England 2. Australia has not conceded more than 2 tries against England in a test match since 2004. So Tatafu Pilota now is on there, his 62nd test match. Important throw, and he finds the target.
Ball again.
And Fardy coming away, stepping, offloading now. Pocock, good support play by the number 8. And now Leo Leofano goes into first receiver. Tavita Kurandrani, a good carry. Farrell held on. And now running around the corner is Mum. And Haskell is in there. Was he the tackler? I don't think so.
It was brilliant work if he was. James Haskell.
Quick throw in. Israel Folau, plenty of white jumpers around him. He throws the dummy, takes them on. The tackle was good, and it spits out. And it's there for Watson.
Very clever England boot in there to get rid of that, out of that ruck.
Numbers.
Oh. Farrell looking for territory. And it sits up for Bernard Foley. Yard is there. He goes downtown, down to Ford. Ford, high kick for Brown to chase Folau. The fullbacks. It was okay for Folau. No real pressure on him. Mum. So they have to work it downtown again. And Foley.
Too deep.
And he's going to claim the mark. George Ford, whose father, Mike Ford, played some rugby league on this ground for the Crushers back in the old days.
And coached the Bath Club. And he was defensive coach for England for a little while. James Slipper, ready to come onto the field for the Wallabies.
Scott Sio, after serving out his 10 minutes in the bin, will not be coming back, so his night is over.
Thanks, Nick.
And James Slipper made his debut against England in 2010. Comes on for his 75th Test cap, and we've got a change for England as well.
Kearns, you would say that Mario Ledesma did an enormous amount of work leading into the World Cup at set-piece time. A little bit of work to do at scrum time in the next couple of weeks.
A massive amount of work to do. You know, you've got Sakopi Kepu back. Remember, we had him at World Cup. And having him with Pilota now, that's your strongest scrum combination. Stephen Moore, very good scrummager as well. Tatafu probably pits him there, whereas you look at line-out time, Stephen Moore a bit stronger than Tatafu in terms of the throwing department, as England make a number of changes. There's Ledesma there. Pilota now.
So some fresh legs on there for England as well. Marco Vunipola and Dan Cole replaced. So we've got Matt Mullen, the man from Wasps, and Paul Hill from Northampton on the field in the front row. Line out time, it goes down to Hooper and he flings it over, and who wants it has been lost. Knocked on, and then offside, and another gift, 3 points you would think to England through the boot of Farrell.
So Dean Munn was in an offside position. He was in front of the play when David Pocock knocked the ball forward.
Dean Munn was behind Pocock. You wouldn't have seen him touch that ball.
Very similar to the penalty in the quarter-final in the World Cup for Scotland, right on full time. Eddie Jones, the coach, he knows it's not far now. Still a bit of time left for the Wallabies. 14 minutes left.
It's been a tremendous performance from England. They've relied on the things that they do well. Their set piece has been brilliant. And that ability to put the Wallabies under pressure in defence. They've mixed up their line speed in defence. They've just, over time, caught the Wallabies behind the gain line, enough to rattle them.
And they're fit, Keith.
Yeah, much, much fitter side.
Now this man is having a wonderful night with the boot. Just one miss. It's still on a string. A Owen Farrell, a masterclass. And the English fans happy in Brisbane. Haven't always been happy because England are still looking for their first win in Brisbane.
What a wonderful display. 22 points for Owen Farrell so far. Still 13 minutes left in the game.
Whenever you want, 10.
Sean McMahon just on for Fardy. That makes line-out time interesting.
There's the restart from Australia.
Outside.
They'll do it all again in Melbourne next week, and then the series wraps up in Sydney the following week, and they allow that one to bounce. Who wants it? It's on the ground, and Hooper gives it across to Hall, who flies it out to McMahon.
Oh, knock on White. Knock on White.
White by England.
Knock on the tackle.
They go the direct route through Hooper. And now Mum, out the back, Foley. Davida Kurandrani. Pocock. Elapeti. Folau. Israel Folau. Brown comes at him. He throws it back on the inside. Phipps did well to drag that one down, but he couldn't hold his footing. And now Tavita Kurandrani had an unmarked Israel Folau. He went on his own. Here comes the Wallabies. Foley has to take the tackle. And England desperate now. Maybe a try butchered there, but it's still on for the Wallabies as Slipper goes to ground. And Karevi. Samu Karevi lays it back. Kurandrani, no way through there.
Good defence from Billy Vunipola. Shut the try down.
England resetting their defensive line. They know they could be on the cusp of something special here, England. Now it's McMahon straight into them. Good recycle. Who wants it? Mum didn't really want it, and yet they will come back for a penalty.
Well, a couple of opportunities there for the Wallabies to score on the right-hand side. Tavita Kurandrani needed to offload to Israel Folau. On the left there, Samu Karevi should have offloaded to his left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a commotion. No, concussion assessment. I cannot play. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
So it looks as though David Pocock is in trouble.
Yeah, time off.
Tavita Kurandrani, the look on his face, he knows on the right-hand side there was an opportunity with Israel Folau. Just didn't see him. Wonderful defence, though, from the English. Right on their line. Their spacing was strong, Kaif.
Tremendous defence. Lovely structure. Scott Fardy will come back on the field for the concussion test on David Pocock. Poor running lines at times from the Wallabies. Caught going lateral. Needed to square up and go straight. The Wallabies just this habit to drift in their running lines where they get a little bit lazy.
Number 8.
Not direct enough, not straight enough. And that allowed England to keep defending and hold on.
14 and 9.
But it's been a great defensive performance from England. It's not over yet. The Wallabies 2 quick tries and they're back in front. Plenty of time now.
They'll take their tries under the post, Gav.
Couple of changes, so we've got Anthony Watson coming from the field, also scrum half Ben Young, so Jack Noel, and also Denny Kerr out there. Kerr should be a very good finisher. He's a dangerous player in his 60th Test match.
Ben Young's really good game from him. The ploy for England has been every time that Nick Phipps gets his hands on the ball, they actually make sure they tackle and put him to the ground.
Stay closer.
Can't get to the next play.
Crunch! Bind! Set!
Foley, inside ball, Haylett-Petty!
What a tackle, Haskell.
It soon closed, didn't it? Now it's Tavita Kurandrani. They won't stop him from there. And he is over, close to the post. Game on at Suncorp Stadium. And Kurandrani has got his 10th Test try.
Another goal by the assistant.
All came from the scrum. Tatafu plotted out, James Slipper, Sakopi Kepu. Watch how strong they were at set piece time. And then they folded to the left. Tavita Kurandrani only knows one way. You won't stop him from 5 metres out. Tavita Kurandrani knows how important that try is to get the Wallabies back into this game with 9 minutes left.
Yeah, it's a very good scrum from the Wallabies. They got their left-hand side of the scrum up. They wanted to go left. Should have been a penalty.
Bernard Foley, 1 from 4 tonight.
Moves in and nails it. 32-25.
1 try in it. Behind by 7 points. Tavita Kurandrani scored a try the World Cup final to get the Wallabies back in it in the second half against the All Blacks. Came inside Jonathan Joseph. It was the quick ball that Nick Phipps got.
This is the key moments, obviously, for England. You fancy the Wallabies have that fitness to come over the top of them. But England have done tremendously well in this first 70 minutes.
Bit of hang time from that restart as well, and Karevi takes it inside the 22. Penalty goes against England, and they're going to have to watch their discipline because that's just allowing the Wallabies to piggyback themselves out of the danger zone.
They're not rolling away. Now this will put the Wallabies just on halfway, Bernard Foley. So important now for the line-out to function well. It's a brilliant kick from Bernard Foley past the halfway. Nick Phipps getting frustrated that he couldn't get the ball out.
Four. Push back, wide. Yeah.
Tatafu pull on it now. Finds Dean Mumm straight down to Phipps and out to Hooper, and he gives it to Foley, and now for Lau. Got rid of Yard. Got it over to Hale Petty. Samu Karevi. Oh, terrific tackle by Brown. Now it's McMahon. Short side. Hale Petty. Couldn't quite get it around the corner. But that's the 22. And now it's Mumm. Foley. Slipper. Out the back it goes. Israel Folau starts to run. He got away from 1 over the 22. Now it's Kurandrani near the touchline. End of touch.
Needed to come back inside off his right foot. Tavita Kurandrani. A wonderful play again from the Wallabies. They're getting across the advantage line and getting quick ball. Israel Folau was so close to getting through. Toji made the tackle.
You are first?
Check now.
First? Okay, thank you. Hold the line on him.
Sorry, boys.
Push.
Yeah, the coach not happy. That's a coach killer.
England taking a long time to get ready and set.
In the middle, White.
They know they've got to slow this game down at the end to keep it.
Former under-20 star Luke Cowan Dickey is on there. The hooker, replacement hooker. Toji.
18 away!
Well, you heard the referee asking the Wallabies to move away.
Yeah, that was a dump penalty.
Yet another penalty. 15 conceded by the Wallabies.
Gee, it's smart play though, isn't it, from the English pack? Just taking their time, a lot of experience, not panicking, rolling maul, creating a penalty. David Pocock goes back to the bench, so Kafey must have failed the concussion test, has he?
16.
Haven't heard yet, but all indications are that he would. But the Wallabies there
In the middle of the gap.
with Tavita Kurandrani, that'll be a chance that they miss. 6-7 minutes to go.
No. You wasn't buying at the start.
We've seen England do this before in a World Cup final many years ago in Sydney. Just slow a game down, maintain possession and control.
And it goes against the throat. And so Slipper gives it now to McMahon, who steps, runs into Haskell, who's been solid for England. Horwell.
the Wallabies there.
Still moving. Still moving forward. No, yeah, but still moving forward. Unplayable, gold ball.
It's a good carry from James Horwell.
Unplayable ruck.
Wallabies so lucky there. Ball was stolen.
Yeah.
Scott Fardy should have been penalised. Romain Poit elected that they were going forward unplayable. It was unplayable because Scotty Fardy didn't let it go. Gets up Dean Mumm in front of Itoja. He's their man. So agile and quick in the line out. The Wallabies are just man marking him now. They're going to go up against him every time.
Dean Mumm's been very good since coming off the bench. Wallabies midfield now, good attacking opportunity. You have to get quick ball.
Penalty goes to the Wallabies.
3.5 minutes left. Right out in front, behind by 7.
You see what a difference the scrum makes.
So Michael Hooper took the option. Bernard Foley to go for points.
Yeah, they've got to score twice to win it. You may as well kick this one if you can. And then you play in the last 1 or 2 minutes for the win.
On the line, please. Sorry.
What about in the 3-test series, though, Rod? A draw might be a pretty handy result.
That's not the way you think, Clarkie. You play for the win.
I don't have time.
They're going to have 2 minutes
I have 70
to score a try.
20 seconds. 77 and 20 seconds. Is that correct?
So it is Foley on the 40. Pretty much in front. And here is the view for Bernard Foley. And there is the result. 3 points. And it's 32-28 at Suncorp Stadium.
How important is this restart for both teams? English team taking their time to get back.
Goal 9.
David Pocock wanting to get back onto the field.
Nick Phipps coming from the field. So the final replacement to go out there, Nick Frisby, who is on debut. Man from the Queensland Reds.
He's done some running tonight, Nick Phipps.
Yep, another brilliant game from him. He's been knocked around tonight.
2 minutes remaining. Forward. Kicks off. He'll want to go fairly long. Down to Samu Karevi. Inside the 22. Up over the 22 now. Frisby goes in. Gives it to Foley. And Hooper takes the tackle. Penny can't free the hand to offload, so he's inside the 22. And out the back it goes, and Foley gives it now to Pilotta now. Needs support on the 22. Haskell was the tackler. They cleaned him out. Now it's Frisby and Foley inside ball to Horwell, driven back in the tackle. It's a good one from Joe Launchbury. Now, has someone got a little bit of magic out wide for Lau, the go-to man, into the ground on the 10-metre mark. Over a minute remaining. Slipper, good hands. No need to panic, and England, same applies to them on defence. They just need to keep doing what they've been doing for the last 70 minutes. Alec Petty's had a fairly handy debut and he got the pass away. Karevi, they cough it up.
He's caught it before it's hit the deck. Now England have got it.
And away goes Ford! Or Kerr it is. Danny Kerr out to Launchbury. And England now can just close it out if they want to. Haskell to Ford. He kicks across and the chase is on. Jack now gets the bounce and England have broken their drought in Brisbane at long last. And they go 1-up in the Cook Cup Test Series. What a finish, England. Came from the loose carry by the Wallabies and they are celebrating. England.
What a win for England. Magnificent. They won the Grand Slam. Eddie Jones, there he is. The first Grand Slam since 2003.
Please,
6 test matches after the World Cup.
Please.
And they had momentum, and defensively they've been brilliant and counter-attacking as well. Jack now, his 9th test try, and they celebrated. It was turnover ball. The Wallabies had knocked on Samu Karevi.
Just caught napping there, the Wallabies.
Danny Kerr, he just pounced, got the ball away off the ground. Smart play. George Ford and also Owen Farrell have been able to play left and right, first and second receivers. George Ford just decking the little one in behind. They certainly deserve it, England. Down 10-0 early in the match. Eddie Jones, how excited to see 1-0 up in the Test series.
I don't know who was the most excited, Eddie Jones or Glenn Ella, his assistant. Wow, what a finish. And what a series this is going to be now. So for the first time since 2004, England have scored 3 tries in a match against the Wallabies.
Also, I think the first time England have won in Brisbane.
Yeah, they've broken that drought. They lost their 4 previous matches in Brisbane. They came down under as the Six Nations champions, and they go 1 up in the 3 Test series. And what a night it's been for Owen Farrell as well. Magnificent with the boot. 3 tries apiece, but the rest of the points coming from the trusty boot of Owen Farrell. An entertaining game, but in the end, the team with the momentum, the team that has now won 8 on the trot for the first time in over a decade, win it. England 39, Australia 28.
Wonderful defensive work, wasn't it, from England? They rushed up, put pressure on the second wave attack of the Wallabies. Vunipola, Haskell, James Haskell was brilliant, so was Chris Robshaw in the back row for England. Michael Cheika will be proud of his team's effort, but certainly there's a lot to work on. Set-piece time at the scrum. There he is. Michael Cheika knows how important, talking to Mario Ledesmo, the forwards coach.
Well, they had their opportunities late in the match, but they just didn't nail it, where England took pretty much every opportunity. But those penalties really killed the Wallabies as well. 15 penalties conceded.
Also, the missed tackles was important. England missed 21 missed tackles, Australia 8. That was the momentum that this England team had from the Six Nations, from beating Wales at Twickenham a couple of weeks ago. 4 debutants for the Wallabies.
So plenty to work on for Australia as they head to Melbourne for the second Test next Saturday night. And I can tell you that 39 points by England is the most that they have ever scored against the Wallabies. 39-28, and we can now get some reaction. Let's go down onto the pitch.
Steve, tough game for the Wallabies tonight. What are the initial reactions?
Oh, disappointment, mate. Disappointing to lose at home in our first Test of the year, but that's the way it goes. England played well; they deserved to win. So probably the pace went out of the game a bit in that first half, which was probably disappointing from our perspective.
We saw the set piece tonight really struggle under pressure.
Yeah, there was bits and pieces there that didn't go well, so we need to look at that. It's an important part of Test footy.
England came out with a specific plan, and I think they executed it pretty well. Played at varying tempo, up the pace from time to time, slowed it down when they had to. Is that how it felt?
Yeah, they did. They played well. They put us under pressure at the breakdown a bit, I thought, and that's important at this level. So we need to tighten that for next week. We've got 2 more games left in the series.
Discipline also a little bit of an issue. A couple of soft penalties, letting them off the hook at times.
Yeah, that's right. There wasn't anything in particular, but there was just bits and pieces. So have to go back and look at that. And we got 2 tests, so we just got to get back on it on Monday and get ready for Melbourne.
We'll see you down there.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Also joining me, Dylan Hartley. Dylan, a tremendous performance tonight from the team, and I know you want to keep a lid on it because it's a 3-test series, but a real execution of how England are playing.
Look, first and foremost, the result was key for us. The way we started the game we'll need looking at. Look, we're going to keep our feet on the ground. We're well aware it's the first of 3, but we put all our focus, all our energy into this first game, and to get the result is a good way to start our campaign.
You dealt with the Wallabies' early pressure. The Wallabies scored the 2 early tries. You came back and just built pressure. Is that how it felt out there?
Yeah, I think they had a lot of ball in the first 20 minutes. Obviously, we went 10-0 down. We struggled to get a foothold in the game. We struggled to get field position. When we finally got down that end, got some points on the board, it was reassuring to keep the points going on the board. But great character from the boys to dig in there and play to the 80th minute there, because I was on the edge of my seat there, and it's been built up for a big series. It's exciting.
One of the age-old rules of rugby, you've got to have a solid set piece to win matches, and you did that well tonight.
I think the scrum was a bit messy. There's a lot between Australia and England. It's always built up to be quite big, but today I don't think we saw many completed scrums. The line-out more was very effective for us. But look, we're going to keep our feet on the ground. We've got plenty to work on for next week. We'll enjoy this now, keep the egos in check and move on to the next one.
Congratulations on a good win.
Thank you very much.
So under Eddie Jones, England now 7 wins from 7 test matches. Eddie Jones still hasn't lost a test match at Suncorp. He's now 6 from 6, 5 from 5 as the Wallaby coach 2003 to 2005, and now 1 from 1 as the England coach. 4 tries to 3 Australia outscored England, but England through the boot of Farrell were far too strong in the end. 39 points to 28, most points ever against Australia, and that's the most points the Wallabies have ever conceded at Suncorp. We'll take a break and then we'll come back with the post-match wrap from Suncorp Stadium.